Dino, somehow in Dino's mind, put The Elephant Man together with Dune. And he called me and asked me if I would read this book. I wasn't 100%. I don't know quite how that happened. That's my one, in my mind, big failure. And but I learned a tremendous amount on that film. I love Dino. I love his daughter Rafaela. I love the cast and crew. And I loved Mexico City. I was down there for a year and a half. Dune took 3 years to make, start to finish. But it was a nightmare. And it was a nightmare.
Some of the special effects and so forth got very cheap. They ran out of money. And no, in a lot of those cases, he didn't get what he wanted. And they just didn't have the money for it. I mean, there are descriptions in the screenplay of folding space, which are just gorgeous, and I know he would have loved to have done. And you know, had the film been done a few years later, he could have had, and they would have been gorgeous.
Mentat Fighter de Vries. Message for Mentat Fighter de Vries. The Baron is impatient for Leto's reply.
It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of Safu that thoughts acquire speed, the lips acquire stains, stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion.
David directs for different people in different ways. For me, it had a lot to do with imagery. He'd say, more like a wind. Or he'd say, think about Elvis. Or he'd say, sometimes nothing at all. There'd just be a moment, pause, and we'd sort of stare at the ground together and look at each other and sort of nod. And he loves to direct from behind the camera, so you'll hear his voice from time to time, which is fun because then it becomes a challenge: is who can make who laugh first. So he laughs and sometimes ruins the take, and sometimes he'll get me. That was just the friendly process.
Our shared enemy, the Harkonnens, are once again in control of Arrakis. Stilgar, your leader, has asked me and my mother to teach you the Weirding Way, to crush the Harkonnens. We must do more than this. We must totally destroy all spice production on Arrakis.
It was huge. Everybody talks about things, many crews, lots of things going on at the same time, and it was a big production. That principal photography lasted 6 months, and models, miniatures, special effects photography lasted another 6 months. So I didn't have final cut on that film. So I didn't have final cut on The Elephant Man either, but Mel, in effect, gave it to me. And so that's the big lesson. Don't make a film if it can't be the film you want to make. It's a joke, and a sick joke, and it'll kill you.